So hi, hello. Today I wanted to film a storytime video because there's a story time that I've been wanting to tell you for a while. It's, as you can see from the title, the worst first date that I've ever been on, and it was definitely not a second, but the guy that I had the date with used to watch my videos, so I didn't want to film a whole video on it and him see it because that's mean. But yeah, I thought it was fun to it's just a fun little story that I wanted to tell you. You might not find it interesting, but I haven't done story time in a while and I have really wanted to do this for a while now. So it starts off with me and this guy, either Tom or Nick, I can't recall his name, one or the other. And we met on, I think we met on Instagram or Facebook. I know it wasn't a dating app, but it was online. And we were talking for a while and we decided to meet up. I live in Stratford and he lived not too far, but I feel like it was Essex way, so London, in the middle of London, was the best place to meet. And I don't remember how old I was at this point, but I know that I still had really bad anxiety and I wasn't going out, in places that I don't know. I've only just started going into places that I don't know. If I had to go to Leicester Square now, I've done it a few times so I know where it is, but I would be able to, figure it out and not be so anxious. But I remember when he said he wanted to go to Leicester Square, I was terrified. I was so scared, but I did it because I really liked him at the time. We really got on when we were texting and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. So I finally get to Leicester Square and I'm thinking about 10 minutes early. And I'm outside and I'm walking up and down the street from the station. I'm just walking up and down that street because I didn't want to sort of just stand there, and there were so many people I wanted to just walk around for a bit. And it gets to whatever time it was that we were meeting. Haven't heard from him. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's still underground, because I'm pretty sure Leicester Square is an underground station. So, maybe he doesn't have signal. Then it got to 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I was like, where is this guy? I was texting him, I'd called him a few times, nothing. And then it got to about 40 minutes, he was about 40 minutes late, and then he texts me saying, sorry, I'll be there soon. And there was no reason, he didn't tell me any reason. Maybe there was a reason, but he didn't tell me. He was just sort of hey, sorry. I was like, that's okay. But yeah, he turned up about 10 minutes after that. So nearly a whole hour I was just sort of waiting there. And he was like, oh, let's just walk around for a bit. I was like, okay. And I don't know Leicester Square, and I think he said he'd been there a few times, so he was sort of leading the thing. And I'm not good with new places or travel, like I said, but when I'm with someone I'm not as bad, because if we get lost it's okay, I'm not gonna die, I'm with someone, it's okay. And I don't remember what time of year it was, but there must have been, I'm thinking maybe it was around Christmas time, because there was a market and I feel like it was festive, or maybe it was just a random market, I'm not sure. But we were meeting at a certain time and then we were going to go and get pizza, and he was already an hour late, so I'm hungry, and we're walking in this market and he's going to every stall and he's just looking at every single thing, and he's oh, look at this. I think he made jewellery, I think, for a living, or maybe just as a hobby, I'm not sure, but he was looking at all these random wires and stuff. And at first it was interesting, I was oh cool, also I wanted to know about yourself, but when it's just too long and it's too much information, and it's sort of not it didn't feel like a date. I just felt like I was tagging along on his day in London. It just didn't feel like a date in the slightest. 2.5 hours later, not even exaggerating, he's picked up so much random crap, and he kept picking up things being this is why I feel like it might be around Christmas as well, because he kept picking up loads of stuff being oh, my mum would really like that, oh, Susan would really like this, oh, my brother would really like this, and then he was buying all this stuff, and it was fine, cool. But I just feel you're doing errands on a date. Now, obviously, Callum and I go Westfield for dates, we'll go to a freaking boot sale for a date, stuff like that is fine once you're in a relationship, or you've even been out on a few dates, but I feel on your first date, it's not the best thing you want to do, and you're an hour late, let's just go eat. Eventually, we get to Pizza Express, and we sit down, and we eat, and it was fine, it was, we got on, but we didn't get on as much as we got on over text. And that really disappointed me, because I felt we got on quite well over text. That's why I obviously wanted to meet him. But there was just no passion there, do you know what I mean? We were just sitting there talking, it was fine, we were civil, we were polite. I could easily have a conversation with him, but there was no, I didn't want to jump his bones, I didn't want to, I don't know how to explain it, it wasn't there. And Now before I get into this, because this could be a very heated discussion, so I'm not the kind of person who expects a guy to pay for a date or a first date or anything like that, but I also want to offer to pay, but I'm not a feminist. Like, I'm not going to be offended if a guy is like, oh, I'll pay. You know, there are many girls out there that would be like, what do you mean? I can pay for my own stuff. I'm not like that either. Like, I understand that paying for dates, first dates and stuff like that is a masculinity thing, and it's an old school thing, and it's polite. Like, I do completely understand that, and it is a real turn on, especially for me, it's a turn on. But I felt bad because I knew that there wasn't going to be a second date by this point, and I didn't want him to have to spend his money. So also, like I said, I wasn't going to expect him to pay anyway. So when he went to the bathroom, I got the bill and I paid for it. It was about £35. Not that that's important, but it was about £35, and I paid for it. He came down. I was like, oh, you ready to go? He was like, yeah, let me just get the bill. And I was like, oh, don't worry about it, I already got it. And he was like, oh, thanks. And that's it. I was like, okay. And then we're walking back, just walking around, and we go to a pub, and he's like, oh, should we get a drink? I'm like, yeah, sure. We walk up to the bar, and he goes, oh, can I get a beer? That's it. He doesn't ask me what I want, he doesn't offer me a drink, and I was just like, okay, like, I just paid for your £35 meal. Yeah, you didn't ask me to, but you could then at least offer to pay for a freaking drink, like, do you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, you're not gonna get anything? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, can I have a Coke, please? And once again, like, didn't like offer any money or anything, so I like tapped my card or whatever. And like, do you know what, I was just so pissed off, because I was like, I'm not being funny, like, I'm not saying that because I paid for this you have to pay for that, but I just feel like it's a polite thing, it's a date thing, it's like what you do. Like, you didn't even offer. It was like a £3 bottle of Coke, £35 meal, like, choose your battles, like, come on. Pissed me off so much. And then I was saying that he knew about my anxiety, so he was asking me certain questions about it, which I'm more than open about. I'm an open book when it comes to my anxiety and stuff. But went to the train station. He was like, do you know how you're getting home? And I was like, oh, I think so. He was like, okay, bye. I just walked off. We were at the train station, like the front of it, and he just walked. No hug, nothing, just left me. Didn't even text me later on that night telling me that he got home safe or asked if I got home safe. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. We didn't talk then for a little while, and then I think after a few weeks or maybe a month, he texted me being like, hey, do you want to meet up again? And I was like, no thanks, I'm good. So yeah, that was a story time, my worst first date, and I wouldn't go through it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, click the little bell to get notified whenever I upload a video. Weekly now, because I'm getting my shit together. I love you so much, and I'll see you when I see you.